home kami, we're just
And it's pandemic.
It's pandemic, there's COVID, and everybody's staying in the floor.
Cebu Pacific is aware of the situation.
Fair. It's not fair. It's not because the fare is cheap. It's you allow our Filipino people to just stay in the floor, who sit in the floor. Imagine us, 4 or 5 of us is staying in 4 seats. It's not fair. Someone should talk to us. Someone should give us a hotel room.
Yeah, they should do it right now.
It should be a comfortable tour for us, not
Yeah.
like
I
this.
hope you
Unfortunate.
understand.
Yeah, I
Not
understand.
like
I
this.
understand. Unfortunately,
We're not living in the Philippines like
unfortunately,
this.
they are not doing that.
No, they have
tell
to
you.
come and talk to us. You have to address them to talk to us. It's not fair. It's not fair for us.
I understand that.
We paid for that. It's not a free ride. Our Filipino people are not just a trash and sit down the
You're
floor
right,
just
yeah.
like this.
Right,
That's not
right.
fair. There
is
should be
something that you
someone to
can-
talk to us.
they are
Dapat i-post natin ito lahat. Kasi unfair. Mga nagtatrabaho lang sila.
Yeah.
Dapat naawa sa mga kasama natin. Nagtatrabaho. Yung iba, dami-daming dala. Nag-uuwi, dadami sa pamilya. Tapos na-delay na isang araw. Dilugi ka na isang araw. Diba? Hindi tama. Diba? Oo, yun nga. Yung isa pa yung susunod. Oo, tapos pandemic pa. Yung mga pamilya naghihintay. Hindi ka makatulog. Yung the 3 o'clock is okay. But the 8 something, that's so, sobrang tagal.
Excuse me, may I know how do you communicate with us food? May I know how do you communicate with us?
Yeah, how do we communicate?
The Cebu Pacific, there is a representative who talks to our manager in Singapore. Here, there are 2 of them on duty.
Yeah.
They will be at the gate.
They should
later on.
come down here straight away.
Definitely. That's why
Yeah.
you talk.
Why are they not coming here?
Yes.
Why are
want
not
us to-
facing us?
They are one who want to do the job because they pay us to do the job.
It's actually
No.
not their fault. I know, but
Yeah.
They pay us to talk to you.
Yeah.
Later at the boarding gate, when time of departure, they will meet you.
At 8 o'clock,
Huh? So special ah. They are so
No,
special.
I think they have to do it now.
That's the way they
We are the
they-
customers, right?
Yeah, I think they should come down here and then arrange the hotel and
Maybe
you
they
know
are paid
people
high,
can.
but we are the customers now,
Yeah,
right?
they should do
Obviously, they're not
that.
doing that.
Okay?
No, it's wrong. Really,
Sir, are you working from Cebu Pacific or here?
you just here.
everything
We
is
are the
closed.
ground handler. So they will tell us, please tell our customers.
May I know what's the
Delayed ang flight ng Cebu Pacific. Ay, nako buhay. Lahat ng mga tao dito nakapagod na. Oh, ito lang binigay, tubig, tsaka biskwit. Wala pa. Ay, nako, ayan na. Wala pa rin. Ay, nako. Ilang oras nang delayed. O, na matulog na muna kayo dyan. Ay, buhay. Ano bang, ano to? Ayan, announcement na naman.
Good evening. Announcing the arrival of Philippines Air Flight Z2607 from Manila.
Naku,
The same
Asia.
aircraft will be utilized as Flight Z2608 bound for Manila.
Ay,
Boarding
nako.
will commence as soon as servicing of your assigned aircraft has been completed. May we request all passengers of this flight to kindly stay inside the pre-departure area.
Hindi pa yan.
For
Puro
flight
lang sila announcement. Wala naman. Final announcement daw. May second final announcement pagid. Ano pagid? Ay, nako. Yun na nga sabi niya, final announcement daw. Tapos wala naman pala final announcement dito. Ay, naku, buhay. Ay, nako, si Kailing ho. Ay, nako, Kailing. 480.
Attention of all Philippines or Asia passengers on flight C2608 bound for
Pareho kami,
Manila.
480.
The sign has been changed at
Hindi pa yan. Sira pa daw yung aircraft.
passengers of this flight to stay in front of gate number 3 and wait for a flight boarding announcement. Once again,
Ay,
attention
nako.
of all Philippines or Asia passengers on flight C2608 bound for Manila. Terminating gate
Dito na tayo matulog.
at boarding gate number 2. We request all passengers on this flight to stay in front of gate number 3 and wait for a flight boarding announcement. Thank you.
Hindi pa. Ay, naku buhay.
On behalf of Cebu Pacific, we wish you a pleasant flight.
Nguto lang sila. Kami gutom na kayo. Sige lang gi-cancel ang flight. Dungag pa dyan eh. Mukuhan yun eh. Musikat yun ni sila.
Hello guys, for today's video, i-share ko lang sa inyo yung experience ko dito sa Cebu Pacific Airline. Almost 24 hours na kami nandito sa Kansai Airport, Japan. Dahil na-move yung flight namin pabalik ng Manila. Supposedly, dapat kahagabi pa yung balik namin ng Pilipinas 8:20 p.m. So, na-move siya from 8:20 p.m. to 10 p.m. So, almost 2 hours lang. So, okay lang. Tsaga-tsaga lang kami. 2 hours lang naman eh. And 10 p.m. na, wala pa silang advice. Hindi pa kami pinapapasok sa loob ng eroplano. So, from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., nag-declare sila ng canceled na yung flight namin. Without any advice kung ano yung next na gagawin namin, ano yung next flight namin o yung rebooking ng flight. Wala as in. So, 1:05 a.m., pinapababa na kami ng boarding area dahil meron ng gagamit ng area namin going to Hong Kong naman. So, bumaba na kami and binigyan kami ng 2,000 yen voucher kasi nga delayed na yung flight namin, so meron silang pabigay. So 2,000 yen yun. So hindi naman namin nagamit dahil nga sarado na halos lahat ng store dito sa airport. Hindi naman 24/7 yung mga store dito o yung kainan. So hindi rin namin siya nagamit sa Lawson. So naghanap na lang kami ng tulugan. Natulog kami. So pagising namin ng umaga kanina, nag-email text na yung flight nga namin is 4:20 ng hapon. So 1 p.m. pa lang umakyat na ulit kami sa 4th floor sa check-in area para ma-check-in na lahat ng luggages namin. And meron lumapit na babae sa akin. Ang sabi, alam niyo po ba yung pinipilahan niyo? So ako kinabahan ako syempre kasi baka delay na naman yung flight. So ang sabi ko, hindi po, ano po ba? Yung pinipilahan po natin is voucher. Meaning to say, delay na naman yung flight at magbibigay na naman sila ng additional 2,000 yen for free meal. So imagine guys, na-move 3 beses na-move yung flight namin. So wala pang kasiguraduhan kung makaka-alis kami ng 9 kasi 10:15 pa rin yung time na binigay sa amin. So ang hassle lang sa part na yun kasi Nung una, nag-check-in na kami ng mga luggages. Tapos pinalabas kami, kinuha namin ulit yung mga luggages namin. So, ang hassle. Tapos ngayon, pipila kami ng 6 p.m. para ma-check-in na ulit yung mga bagahe. So, sana makasakay na kami ng eroplano at makabalik na kami ng Manila. Dahil sobra yung stress, din yung pagod, and nakakasama na ng loob. Sana man lang nagkaroon ng hotel accommodation si Cebu Pacific para nakatulog kahit pa paano na maayos yung mga pasahero nila. Dahil may mga kasama rin mga bata kung nag-iiyakan, nagwawala talaga yung mga tao dito. Kahit nga daw hotel accommodation na lang or capsule na lang. Capsule type, basta merong matulugan kapag pahinga. Kahit wala na daw yung free meal. So ayun, hindi lang sila nakipag-coordinate, wala man lang silang sinabi kung ano yung gagawin namin. So as in, clueless kami. Wala kaming alam. So ayun lang guys, share ko lang sa inyo and balikan ko kayo kung ano yung next na mangyayari. Pero sana makauwi na din kami ng Manila. Wala pa kaming video, wala pa kaming hulog ng ayos, toothbrush. So, grabe. And yun nga, nag-email ulit sila, no, na meron nga kaming one-way ticket free flight. So, valid siya for 180 days, almost 6 months. So, pwede mo siya magamit within the Asia lang. So, parang dapat 4 hours lang din yung biyahe. Kasi kung sa Kato, Manila, 4 hours lang din yung biyahe. So, dapat gawin lang din siya. So, ayun. May mga pakonsuelo naman silang binigay, pero sana kahit paano nakipag-coordinate sila para hindi kami nagmukhang pala. Diba? So, ayun lang. Share ko lang sa inyo and update ko lang kayo ano yung nangyayari. Thank you. Keep safe.
Siguro, can we hear from Cebu Pacific? Yes, Mr. Lao.
Good afternoon po, Madam Chairperson of the Committee on Tourism, Senator Nancy Binay, Chairperson of the Committee on Public Services, Senator Grace Poe, our honorable senators and distinguished members of the Committee on Tourism and the Committee on Public Services. On behalf of Cebu Pacific, I would like to thank all of you for the opportunity to address the issues raised in Senate Resolution number 575. We express our sincerest apologies to our passengers for the disruptions and assure you that we are committed to resolving these challenges. We value the trust and confidence of our passengers and are committed to providing safe, affordable, and reliable flights. Naintindihan namin na responsibilidad pa rin namin ito bilang serbisyo publiko. We agree with the committee's goals on providing solutions and servicing our customers properly, as we have heard earlier. To enhance our operations and assist affected customers, we have implemented measures such as activating a disruption management team, increasing live chat agents, and improving policies and processes for disruption handling and communication. We acknowledge that these actions may still be insufficient for affected passengers, and we are actively managing the situation and assessing how we can provide better care during this recovery period. We see today's hearing as also as the proper forum to provide this august body and the general public a broad view of the challenges that the global aviation industry is facing at this junction, and which directly impact the operations of Cebu Pacific as well as other carriers worldwide. It must also be said that coming into 2023, Cebu Pacific was very optimistic about the ability to fully restore services to its customers in order to support our country's post-pandemic recovery. In January 2023, after finalizing the investments in new planes as well as operational upgrades, we embarked on a recovery program starting with the arrival of the new Airbus Neos. In fact, first quarter showed a credible performance or credible on-time performance as OTP had improved month on month. However, as early as March, we began to feel the industry challenges and its effects from April onwards. This is when the engine and supply chain issues in the global aviation industry changed the dynamics altogether. Specifically, the global aviation industry has been impacted by Pratt & Whitney engine issues, which power the Airbus A321 and A320neo. The Pratt & Whitney engines are experiencing premature removal from service, and each engine restoration requires 220 days instead of the industry norm of 90 days. This premature servicing can be likened to a car's preventive maintenance, where the vehicle is brought in for inspection at 3,000 kilometers instead of the expected 5,000 kilometers. Additionally, the vehicle is not in the shop for 1 day, but for 1 month. More than 120 aircraft throughout the world are grounded because of this issue. Cebu Pacific this year already encountered 12 unscheduled engine removals, and we had to ground 3 Airbus A321 and A320neos indefinitely since the middle of March. In fact, an Indian airline called Go First went bankrupt last May 2023, blaming Pratt & Whitney for failing to provide the necessary engines, leading to a substantial portion of their fleet being grounded. Apart from the Pratt & Whitney engine issues, we have also encountered delays from Airbus, our aircraft manufacturer. We recognize that global supply chain issues are further worsening the situation and causing additional delays in aircraft deliveries. As a result, we have experienced delays ranging from anywhere between 2 to 5 months, whereas pre-COVID, these aircraft would normally arrive on time and ahead of schedule. These delivery delays necessitate changes to our flight schedules, including flight cancellations and equipment changes from larger to smaller aircraft, which may cause some passengers to be disrupted and cause the perception of overbooking. Rather than canceling the flight, the use of smaller aircraft allow us to still bring as many customers as possible to their destination and lessen the number of disrupted passengers. Last but not least, supply chain issues have become increasingly prominent, leading to extended recovery periods for aircraft on ground, or ang tinatawag namin sa industriya, AOG. These AOGs refer to aircraft that are grounded, requiring additional time for restoration. These aircraft must remain grounded until they are deemed airworthy and compliant with safety standards. All of these events impact the number of aircraft available to fly our planned schedule. So global infrastructure challenges have heightened the probability of aircraft damage, resulting in longer AOG periods and logistical difficulties in recovering aircraft. At the same time, SEB unfortunately experienced a number of incidents rapidly and in such a short span of time, such as the ground damage from runway debris when we were taking off from an airport, damage caused by unexpected severe weather events, where air stairs had, all of a sudden there was a sudden gust of winds, air stairs had flown into 2 of our aircraft, one of which was cleared to fly that same evening, but the other one sustained extensive damage which would require 3 months worth of repair. Bird strikes, where both engines were hit as well as the main landing gear. Aircraft damaged by a burst tire upon landing. And lastly, damage from a towing incident by our contracted maintenance provider. So all of these incidents require complex repairs and take longer to recover, especially with the current supply chain constraints. These sudden and unprecedented operational challenges and fleet availability issues led to the sudden and sharp grounding of up to 17% of our fleet since April. So this is a very rapid and sharp decline in our fleet. Normally in the past, we would normally have 2 to 3 or 3 standby aircraft, and that would normally cover all of the operational difficulties or challenges that we may have. But in this case, napakabilis, napakabigla. Further, some red lighting alerts have also become more prevalent and are longer in duration this year. I think we've had around 78 red lightning alerts from April to June, which affected around 535 flights. Some red lightning alerts do take up to 2.5 to 3 hours, which require, for safety purposes, the full stoppage of operations and could affect flights that are flying to airports that can only operate before sunset and could eventually lead to cancellations. These are the realities that frame Cebu Pacific's current operations, and we are taking all possible steps to address the issues that are global in impact, such as, number one, we have already reduced our flight schedules until the third quarter. Number two, acquiring additional aircraft for greater resilience. We are increasing our spare coverage from 3 to 4 starting this June and up to 6 by the end of the year. And we will also enhance our customer care and recovery policy in order to make sure we are able to communicate to guests the right information and to give them the right options. We are always guided by the Air Passenger Bill of Rights and have adhered to the prescribed policies and rules, especially on matters that affect our customers and our passengers. We remain committed to our mission of providing safe, reliable, and affordable air transportation and look forward to constructive discussions and feedback from this honorable committee. Thank you once again for the opportunity to speak here today.
Yes, Senator JV.
So, just to clarify, because for our riding passengers, no, sa mga commuters, siyempre nasa isip nila, ano yun responsibilidad ng airlines, no? So you are saying that the main reason for all of these things that are happening, yung cancellation, flight cancellations, is that yung supply chain, no? Na yung aircraft nyo, a lot of aircraft are grounded as of this time. Kaya nagkakaroon ng downgrade minsan. Siyempre, halimbawa, from 230 passengers, yung A321, A320 is about 180. So may mga 50 kayo doon na yun yung ma-offload or maka-cancel ang flight nila. Di ba? So is that what you're saying, Sir Lau?
Through the chair, that is correct. That is one of the reasons. There are actually a multitude of, what's happened, no? Just to provide some perspective. Pero yun nga po, one of the issues is kapag may delay po sa delivery ng aeroplano, kunwari, yung A321 po, hindi na-deliver on time, no? We have to substitute it with a smaller aircraft. Now, normally, this is done ahead of time para po makapagbigay kami ng oportunidad sa pasahero para makapag-rebook, para makapagpagawa ng alternative travel plans, para makapag-refund or travel fund po without penalty.
But of course, for the riding public, sabihin nila, dapat na-anticipate niyan. Dapat you should have ready equipment, ready spare engines. Ganong that you are saying now that there is problem with the engine supplier, that is Pratt & Whitney, because of the backlog, no? Did you do that sa Cebu Pac? Did you anticipate because of this problem? Kasi alam nyo naman yung problema na yung dapat nga nabanggit ni Senrisa, yung dating 20,000 cycles ng engine ngayon naging 6,000, minsan nagiging lesser pa. So may problema tayo sa mga newer engines, but what remedies are you doing to address this problem as of now, no? Kasi ano ba yan, I think matagal pang development yan pag-aayos eh.
Siguro, Sen JV, just to add, for you to kumbaga downgrade kayo dun sa available flights na pwede nyong i-offer, do you need a permit from CAB to do that or can you do it on your own?
I think we submit po yung schedule changes to the Civil Aeronautics Board, no? Whether mag-change ng schedules, no? Nagpapadala naman po kami. Minsan po kasi, on the day of operation siya nangyayari.
For example, kasi di ba parang sinasabi niya nga, parang in a way, you knew na we will be having problems. In fact, you said na up to the third quarter. So, on your own, can you downgrade yung available flights?
We already have taken that action, Senator.
Since when?
Mainly because since we've started as early as May. Yes, as early as May.
So sa May lang kayo nagbawas ng flight. On your own, you don't need CAB to do that
No, because
to tell you na mag-downgrade kayo or magbawas kayo ng binibenta yung flights.
Through the chair, when we had spotted the long-term the long-term grounding po because of the jets, because of the Pratt and Whitney issue, we had already started to create and reduce our schedules up to the third quarter. Now, the reason for doing that is ideally we are doing this ahead of time because we understand that it is more difficult for a customer or a passenger to make last-minute changes to his travel plans. So if any cancellations were to happen, ideally we do them substantially ahead of time.
So parang with
Madam-
your with your statement now, I assume na a few months, I mean, kunyari, the remaining quarter, dapat wala na tayong maririnig ng mga pasahero na makakatanggap sila ng email from CEBPAC saying na canceled yung flight nila 2 days before or 4 days before a flight?
So
Or
we-
mababawasan?
So we've increased our resiliency. We've increased our resiliency by adding more spare aircraft. We've reduced our schedules. Now, so we are hopeful na minimize yung schedule changes. Now, having said that,
Parang lumalabas, hindi pa rin, nagbebenta pa rin kayo more than what you can
hindi po,
sell.
nagbawas na po.
So nagbawas na kayo.
Yes.